G'day folks, Rod from My Water Filter here today. And what we're going to do is the installation of a water filter, okay, under sink installation. And you'll see we've taken the cupboard doors off today. That's basically so you can get a good view of what's going on in here. And it just makes it a lot easier for me to get in and do the installation. So pretty simple process. Obviously there's 3 stages to installing the water filter. We're going to install the under sink kit. We'll install the faucet. We'll install the water filter itself, okay? So what we're going to do here, and what you want to do is get everything out of your cupboard, make sure that it's safe and there's no electrical components and you're not going to get hurt or injured in any way. Then you're going to get in here and have a look and make sure you've got plenty of room to install a water filter, something to screw onto, because you'll have a couple of screws that will go through the top of the housing to hold the filter in place, okay? So what we'll do here first, the first thing that you want to do is cut the water, turn the water off, okay? So pretty easy in this situation here. We've actually got a tap under the sink, so we're going to turn the water off here. If you can't turn the water off here, you've got to go out the front of the home to the water meter and turn it off at the main water supply. Then you'll have no pressure pushing on the house. Then you come back inside, turn on the tap. I would expect a little bit of water to come out, there'll be a bit of pressure, releasing the pressure, and we're all good to go now, all right? So what we would do now is sometimes you can lay a towel under the sink here if you think you're going to have a bit of spillage of water, but apart from that, we're going to undo the chrome flexible hose, and this is the part we're going to install, which is the T-piece, and that will send the water filter to your filter, okay? So simple, normal, 1/2 inch BSP connections. The T-pieces can come in different shapes and sizes, but they're all the T-piece. So we'll just nip in here and undo this chrome flexible hose first. Okay. All right, as you can see, there is going to be some water, so we've left it here for you to see this here today. So I'll definitely put a towel down when you are going to install your T-piece. There's a rubber in the end. The rubber must be inside to have a good seal, okay? The T-piece, the chrome flexible pipe has also got a rubber inside there as well, and it'll nail up on the male end, all right? So we'll put the female on first, and what we want to do, we're going to mount the water filter over here in this nice clear spot. So when we finish mounting the T-piece, we want the water hose to the filter heading in that direction, just so we've got a nice easy flow for the water. So we'll just simply screw this one on here now. Okay. Like so. Good Australian crescent. Not too tight, you've got rubbers in there, they will seal. Beautiful, okay. Then we'll get our original chrome flexible pipe and we're going to screw him back onto the top of the T-piece. Once again, we'll just tighten him up, nip him up tight. Okay, that'll do us. Okay, and there we are. The T-piece is now installed. I'll turn the tap off for the T-piece so it's off. And at this point of time, I can actually turn the water back on. So the water's coming back on the sink. And this line is now completely live, full of pressure, full of water, ready to go. And not that I will, but if I lift it up that little black lever on the T-piece, water will start coming out the end here, okay? That's basically where we're at from there. Then we'll get some hose that we're going to use, cut it to the required length. Just give ourselves plenty of spare there today. We like to use the nice cutter or a very sharp Stanley knife. You want to have a nice square cut on the pipe so you get the best seal inside the T-piece. And then this hose is just going to push in about 1.5 centimetres straight into the T-piece. There we go. Make sure he's in there nice and tight. And then we've got a red locking clip. Now these clips, we do use them. You don't have to have one on there. It will work without it, but the clip does hold the pipe nice and square and it holds it in place much more easier. So you just put that red locking clip inside the collar and that will not come out. That's locked in there, locked, tight, ready to go. If you ever want to take it out, off with the red clip, you have to push this collar in. So the collar's got to be pushed in on the T-piece and that hose will come out. All right, we'll push him back in. If you don't push the collar in, you can pull on that and you just won't get it out. It will not come out unless you break it. So we push on the collar, hold the collar in, hose comes out, or push the hose in and he's in. Okay, on with the red clip, lock him on. Happy days. Okay, that's on there. This will be hose there ready to go. We'll spin that up there when we position the water filter. Okay, and that's how to install the under sink kit. And what we're going to do is a faucet installation into the kitchen sink for an under sink water filter. Okay, here's the faucet that we're going to install today. This is sort of our default faucet for most of our products. We use this faucet because we've had such good success with them, and they work an absolute treat. They're easy to install and they've got a good connection on the bottom that makes it very easy to connect straight onto the hose from the water filter. Okay, so we'll just grab it out. As you can see, it's straight out of the box, the same as it's going to arrive at your home. There are some instructions in the box, so you can take a look at those as required. And then here's our parts for our filter here, okay? Now, we'll just go slowly so you can see exactly what we do, and you can show it to your plumber if you need him to help install, or do it yourself if you think you can handle it. So the situation is, you can't just get the faucet and just drill a hole and install it anywhere. Wherever you decide that you'd like to install your faucet, you have got to have a look underneath the sink to make sure that you can get to it. Because once you install the faucet, you're going to put a lock and nut on the bottom and you've got to be able to tighten it up. So you're going to be holding the faucet, you're going to be able to get your arm in there, get someone to help you, that's not a problem. But just make sure that wherever you drill the hole through the top of the sink, you do have access from underneath to connect it up with the locking nut. And also, because then you're going to put on the joiner connection and then you've got to connect the hose to it as well. So you do have to be able to access this, and some sinks, especially high quality sinks, can have enclosed cavities in them where you can drill a hole through it and then you just can't get your hand in there, okay? So make sure you can get to it and you'll be good to go. This one here is a pretty simple one to get to, and we're just going to sit him right here on the outside. I can get underneath, I can feel that, I've got plenty of room there, and I know I can get at it, no worries at all. So this is where our system's going to sit today, right here like so. Once again, you've got to make sure it's going to work and operate. So when we turn this water on, is it going to fall into the sink? If it does a couple of drips after you turn the tap off, is the drips going to land into the sink, that sort of thing. So you might want to position it depending on what you've got there, okay? So for us today, that's where we're going to put him here. Just perfectly sit him straight in there like that, and that'll be a good spot for us. All right. So we'll get there, find out where we want it to go, and then just get a pencil and put a little mark there. And then once we've got a mark where we're going to install it, what I like to do is just get a bit of electrical tape. Okay. This is just plain normal electrical tape. Just break a bit off, and what we do is we're going to stick that onto the surface of the sink here. And what that will do is when we use the drill, it'll stop the drill moving around. So I'll stick that on there. I'll also get hold of something sharp, okay, nice little point, and we're just going to put that on there, and I'm just going to put a little mark where I'm going to drill, and that'll stop the drill from spinning around as well, okay? Now I'm going to use 2 drill bits today. We're going to put a pilot hole through first, and then we'll put the larger bit through, and then the faucet will go straight through that hole. All right, so safety is the key at any time. Make sure you've got good posture. If it's a big deep sink and you've got to reach out, you might want to put a block on to stand on or whatever it might be. But make sure that you're safe and you're not drilling into anything electrical, okay? Have a look underneath, make sure you know where you're drilling, and then you should be good to go, okay? So we'll just drill this one through here now. Okay, so there's our pilot hole. That goes through pretty easily. And we'll take out this small pilot drill bit, open him up, stick in the larger one. Okay, and in we go. Now what you'll find, different quality sinks, different thicknesses, etc. So whatever you've got there, just take your time and take it easy, and you should be good to go, okay? So there's our hole through the sink. As you can see, pretty easy. You can just clean him up a little bit, get a file if there's any rough edges and just tidy it up. But basically, job's done. Hole is now in the sink, all right? And we're going to install our faucet straight through the hole. So there's the shaft. Now the first bit that goes on is the nice clean shiny plate, and that's obviously goes on because that's what's going to be on top, and that sits on a nice flat rubber washer. Give it a bit of a cushion and give it something to fit and push into on the sink, and then that'll go through. We'll come along underneath, and we've got a hard black washer that's going to go on first. Then we've got our star washer, and then we're going to screw the locker nut on, okay? Once the locking nut is screwed on, then we'll push our hose connector on, okay? We'll do that from underneath, all right? Here we go. The chrome plate and the black washer straight through the hole. Simple as that, okay? Up from underneath, black flat washer and our locking nut, and we're away. Got quite a length of thread on it, so ensure that you do get it all the way up. Okay, good to go. Off. Okay, and there you go. Faucet's in. Simple as that. We've got our connector here in my hand. I'm just going to pull off one of the red clips. Okay, I'm going to push that straight onto the bottom of this shaft, like so. Right up. Then it'll pull down a little bit. When you pull it down a little bit, it'll open up the collar, and then we can push our red clip straight back into that collar. That's locked on there, and it will not come off unless you force it and break it, okay? I'll just take off the second red clip, and over here I've got some water hose. And we're basically going to get this water hose, cut it to the desired length, run it over to where our water filter is going to go, and then the faucet will be nice and installed, okay? Now this hose is going to push straight into the collar here at about 1.5 centimetres. He's in, once you push it in like that, pull it down a bit, red clip pushes on, red clip locks it in place. We're good to go. Beautiful. And there's our hose running over to our filter. We won't cut it now, we'll just leave it there how it is. But basically, faucet's in, ready to go, happy days. And what we're going to do is to finish the installation for the twin under sink water filter. Now, it's already been set up a bit here in the sense that we have installed the under sink installation kit and the T-piece for the incoming water line, and that's this line here, plugs onto the inside of the pressure limiting valve, and then we've got the hose at the back, which is to come on the outlet side of the filter, and that's going to come up to our faucet. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is maybe just get a bit of a texture pen and put a mark in here where we're going to install it, remembering that we want 30 centimetres, 3 centimetres minimum underneath the system when we remove the housings and we drop them down to change the cartridges, etc. Okay, so we'll get this one up under here and have a look where we can install him. All right, so I do like to get them up out of the way as best we can, and this is how we'll do it here as well today. So plenty underneath, it can sit right about there. Beautiful. Okay, so I've put a little mark there. Now I'm just going to put a little pilot hole in with this wood drill. Okay. Now we've got two screws here, and the beauty of these is there's a bit of a slot on the top. So we'll put the screws in first, and then we can just hang the filter on there, okay? Let's get them started. Okay, so we've got two screws up underneath the cupboard there, and then that will just hang straight on top, okay? We can get the power drill or the tech gun. Now he's locked into place. All ready to go. Then we've got our incoming water supply from the T-piece, and we're going to connect that up into the pressure limiting valve. So we'll just take off the red clip and we'll put on John Guest hose, red clip back on. Just spin the red clip around, make sure that it is fitted on there properly and it's all good and secure. Okay, then we've got our hose to our faucet. Push him in, goes in 1.5 centimetres, locks in, open the gap up a little bit, push our red clip in, make sure that that clip can spin around and it's locked in and we're nice and tight and secure. Beautiful, we're good to go, okay? At this point of time, we're pretty much all installed, okay? We've got the T-piece, the water coming in through the pressure limiting valve into the inlet side of the filter. The water will come in, fill the housing, penetrate the cartridge. Filtered water will go over into the second side. It'll fill this second housing with water. Water will penetrate through the cartridge to the center core, and then the filtered water is coming out the other side via this white hose across it over to our faucet, okay? So once this is installed like so, then we do need to flush it, and we want to turn it on for 5 minutes. We also want to inspect it, make sure we've got no leaks or anything like that. So I'm just going to check that the housings are tight. So we just slide the housing tool up, just a little tight. Same on this one. Beautiful. Now you don't have to really tighten them, folks. Just tighten them up by hand. Put the housing tool on, just give them a little nip. Beautiful, nice and tight, all happy, ready to go. Okay, so we're going to slowly turn the water on now, and the first thing we're going to do is just check for leaks. You can hear the water running through the hose, through the system, filling up the housings. It'll take a minute to fill it all up, and then when that's all full, we'll turn on the faucet and we'll get the water to flow through, and we'll give it a flush for 5 minutes. Now, all of these twin water filters, they're all set up, and you just turn them on and flush them. If you have a fluoride removal cartridge, generally the fluoride removal cartridge on a twin's in this position here, it must be flushed differently. So please watch the installation flushing for a fluoride removal water filter. They are different. Failing that, all the other filters are the same. Turn them on and just inspect all your pipes going along. Give them a wiggle, make sure that they're all pushed up and they're fitted in correctly, and we're all good to go. When we turn the faucet on, we might see some black carbon water come out, okay? So on with the faucet. As you can see, just a bit of air comes out at first, a bit of black carbon water, and then the filter will start to flow. We're going to flush it for at least 5 minutes, okay? At least 5, if not 10, and you can get that water, put it in a bucket, put it on the pot plants in the garden, etc., so we don't waste it. But we do want to flush all new cartridges a minimum of 5 minutes before you even start, okay? Get the water in there, get the carbon to swell and activate, you're looking good. All right, no leaks, water's flushing through nicely. It's working a treat. Happy days. Good luck. Thank you very much.